All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am V. Ravi Kumar and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to transfer first installment of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin to more than 1.47 lakh beneficiaries of Tripura today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds high-level meeting over cryptocurrency and related issues. Union Home Minister Amit Shah to chair Southern Zonal Council meeting at Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh today. Two terror groups, Manipur Naga People's Front and Revolutionary People's Front, claim responsibility for attack on Assam Rifles convoy in Manipur. India's COVID vaccination coverage crosses 112 crore mark. Centre to launch week-long awareness campaign on Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge today. All schools closed in Delhi for a week and construction activities banned for 3 days to check air pollution. India International Trade Fair to begin today at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Indian Air Force to participate in Biennial Dubai Air Show beginning today. And Australia to take on New Zealand in the final of T20 World Cup in Dubai this evening. As India created history by administering over 100 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the doctors, nurses, other frontline workers and all those who got vaccinated and made this possible. Even though the country has achieved this feat, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated. During the festival season, please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 01123978046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will transfer the first installment of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin PMAYG to more than 1.47 lakh beneficiaries of Tripura at 1 p.m. today via video conferencing. More than 700 crore rupees will be credited directly to the bank accounts of the beneficiaries on the occasion. Following Prime Minister's intervention, taking into account unique geoclimatic conditions of Tripura, the definition of Kacha house has been changed specifically for the state, which has enabled such a large number of beneficiaries living in Kacha houses to get assistance to construct a Pakka house. Earlier, while interacting with beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana in Madhya Pradesh, Prime Minister said that complete transparency has been followed at each and every step of construction of such houses.
अब किसी की इच्छा के अनुसार लिस्ट में नाम न जोड़ा जा सकता है न घटाया जा सकता है। चयन से लेकर के निर्माण तक वैज्ञानिक और पारदर्शी तरीका अपनाया जा रहा है। इतना ही नहीं, मटेरियल से लेकर के निर्माण तक स्थानीय स्तर पर उपलब्ध और उपयोग होने वाले सामानों को भी प्राथमिकता दी जा रही है। घर के डिजाइन भी स्थानीय जरूरतों और निर्माण शैली के मुताबिक ही तैयार और स्वीकार किए जा रहे हैं। अब पूरी पारदर्शिता के साथ घर बनाने के हर चरण की पूरी मॉनिटरिंग के साथ लाभार्थी खुद अपना घर बनाता है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a meeting on the way forward for cryptocurrency and related issues yesterday. Government sources said it was a very comprehensive meeting. It was also an outcome of a consultative process as the Reserve Bank of India, Finance Ministry and Home Ministry had done an elaborate exercise on it and consulted experts from across the country and the world. Global examples and best practices were also looked at. It was strongly felt that attempts to mislead the youth through over-promising and non-transparent advertising be stopped. It was also discussed that unregulated crypto markets cannot be let to become avenues for money laundering and terror financing. Sources said the government is cognizant of the fact that this is an evolving technology, hence the government will keep a close watch and take proactive steps.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah will chair the Southern Zonal Council meeting at Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh today. Representatives from the southern states and union territories will attend the meeting. Southern Zonal Council comprises Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Telangana and union territories of Puducherry, Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. During the meeting, officials will discuss a broad range of issues including boundary disputes, security, infrastructure-related matters like road transport, industries, water and power, a statement by the Ministry of Home Affairs said. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy is the Vice Chairman on the host. Other Chief Ministers from the states in the zone, along with 2 ministers each, are the members. The government has said that the news circulating in social media about damage and vandalization of a mosque in Gomti district of Tripura is fake and is complete misrepresentation of facts. Home Ministry in a statement said that the mosque in Dargah Bazar area of Kakraban has not been damaged and the Tripura police in Gomti district is working to maintain peace and tranquility. It said that there is no reported case of damage of the structure of any masjid in Tripura in the recent past.
India's COVID vaccination coverage has crossed 112 crore mark. Out of the total vaccination, more than 75 crore 19 lakh doses have been given as first dose, while over 36 crore 85 lakh doses have been administered as the second dose. Health Ministry said that more than 52 lakh 28,000 vaccine doses were administered till 7 p.m. yesterday. As part of the World Toilet Day celebrations, Ministry of Housing and Urban Development will launch a week-long awareness campaign on Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge SSC today. A total of 246 cities are participating in Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge, which is being conducted across the country. Through this challenge, it is aimed to encourage cities to mechanize their sewer and septic tank cleaning operations in order to prevent deaths and fatalities of sanitation workers from hazardous entry. The ministry had launched the Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge on the occasion of World Toilet Day on 19th of November last year with the objective of eradicating the practice of hazardous cleaning of sewers and septic tanks and promote mechanized cleaning of the same.
Delhi government has announced that physical classes in all schools will be shut for a week in view of the air pollution. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal stressed that it is paramount to protect children from breathing toxic air and thus education will continue virtually in all schools. He added that all government offices will be closed for 1 week. The entire workforce will be working from home, which will significantly reduce vehicular movement in the national capital. He informed that construction activity will be on hold for 3 days, from 14th to 17th of November, as weather forecasts are indicating a fatal pollution situation in that period. He further announced that the Delhi government is drafting a proposal on whether a lockdown can be imposed in Delhi and will place it in front of the court after consulting all stakeholders. India International Trade Fair IITF will begin today at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal will inaugurate the fair, which will continue till the 27th of this month. The annual event, which witnesses record footfall, was not held last year due to the COVID-19 outbreak. The theme of this year's fair is Atmanirbhar Bharat, Self-Reliant India. Bihar is the partner state, whereas Uttar Pradesh and Jharkhand are the focus states. Over 1,500 exhibitors from India and overseas are participating with the display of a large range of products and services. 23 states, UTs and 34 central ministries, commodity boards, PSUs and government departments are participating in this event. As many as 9 foreign countries including Bangladesh, Bahrain, Ghana, Kazakhstan, Tunisia, Turkey, Sri Lanka and UAE are participating in the fair. We have more from our correspondent.
The event will be organized in safe and secure environment with all COVID protocols. The first 5 days of the trade fair are exclusively reserved for business days and it will open to the general public from 19th November. The timings of the fair will be 9:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. IITF tickets for both business days as well as general days can be purchased from customer care centers of 65 metro stations. On general days for the public in case of weekend and holidays, the rates of IITF tickets will be 150 rupees for adult and 60 rupees for child, while on weekdays it will be charged 80 rupees for adult and 40 rupees for child. On business days, the ticket rates will be higher. For Divyang and senior citizens, the entry into the fair will be free. Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
Today is Children's Day. The day is celebrated across the country to increase awareness of the rights, care and education of children. It is celebrated on 14th November every year on the birth anniversary of the first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has paid tributes to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru on his birth anniversary today.
To mark the occasion of Children's Day today, the Films Division has joined hands with Children's Film Society India by organizing an online screening of a special package of films on its website and YouTube channel. The films that will be showcased are School, Banyan Deer, That Touch of Gold, Swimmy, An Evergreen Story, The Lion and the Rabbit, Friendship, Ek Anek or Ekta, followed by 6 acclaimed children's films from CFSI, Taru, Katputli, Karunaki Vijay, Karamat Kot, Pappu Ki Pagdandi and Gauru, The Journey of Courage. The release said that the package of children films will be streamed on www.filmsdivision.org/documentary of the week and youtube.com/user.
The Rajasthan Assembly will hold a special session for school children today on Children's Day. This session is being organized by the Rajasthan branch of Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. Children participating in this session will play the role of Speaker, Chief Minister, Leader of Opposition, Minister and MLAs. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla will be the chief guest of the session. More from our Jaipur correspondent.
Rajasthan Legislative Assembly will be the first such assembly in the country where a special session for children will be organized. All the proceedings of the assembly will be conducted by the children during the session. Children will play the role of Speaker, Chief Minister and Leader of Opposition, while the member of the Legislative Assembly will sit in the audience gallery and witness the proceedings of the session. In the role of MLAs, the children will ask the questions to the ministers and will also keep their points during the zero hour. 200 out of 5,500 children from 15 states have been selected for this session. Speaker of the Assembly, Dr. C.P. Joshi told that this session will help in increasing the understanding of the children about the government and its functioning. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to transfer first installment of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Grameen, to more than 1.47 lakh beneficiaries of Tripura today. Prime Minister holds high-level meeting over cryptocurrency and related issues. Union Home Minister Amit Shah to chair Southern Zonal Council meeting at Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh today. 2 terror groups, Manipur Naga People's Front and Revolutionary People's Front, claim responsibility for attack on Assam Rifles convoy in Manipur. India's COVID vaccination coverage crosses 112 crore mark. Centre to launch week-long awareness campaign on Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge today. All schools closed in Delhi for a week and construction activities banned for 3 days to check air pollution. India International Trade Fair to begin today at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Indian Air Force to participate in Biennial Dubai Air Show beginning today. And Australia to take on New Zealand in the final of T20 World Cup in Dubai this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Welcome back to Morning News. 2 terror groups, Revolutionary People's Front, RPF, PLA, and the Manipur Naga People's Front, MNPF, have claimed responsibility for the terrorist attack in which a commanding officer for the Assam Rifles, his wife and son, besides 4 personnel, were killed yesterday in Churachandpur district of Manipur. In a joint statement yesterday evening, the groups claimed that they were not aware of the army officer's wife and son's presence in the convoy. Viplav Tripathi, the commanding officer of the Khuga Battalion of Assam Rifles, a colonel rank officer, his family and others died in the ambush yesterday. Tripathi's convoy was targeted at Sehkan village in Churachandpur district. The nation will celebrate Janjatiya Gaurav Divas tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch a series of tribal welfare programs from Bhopal on the occasion. He will also inaugurate the Birsa Munda Museum in Ranchi via video conference. Ahead of the event, AIR News spoke to Tribal Affairs Minister Arjun Munda. He said that it is aimed at reliving, recollecting and recalling the contribution of tribal leaders in the freedom movement.
15 नवंबर को जनजातीय गौरव दिवस मनाने के लिए केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल ने आदरणीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी के नेतृत्व में यह फैसला किया है कि हम राष्ट्र भर में विभिन्न स्थानों पर समय समय पर स्वतंत्रता के लिए युद्ध किए हैं, संघर्ष किए हैं, महानायक के रूप में अपने आप को न्यौछावर किए हैं, वैसे लोगों के प्रति सम्मान देने के दृष्टि से और आदिवासी जनजातीय समुदाय को गौरव महसूस हो, इस दृष्टि से एक तिथि निर्धारित की गई है 15 नवंबर, जिसमें हर साल 15 नवंबर को हम जनजातीय गौरव दिवस मनाएंगे.
The full interview of the Union Minister Arjun Munda will be broadcast in the program Spotlight at 9:15 p.m. today on FM Gold. It can also be heard on News on AIR mobile app and News on AIR official YouTube channel. Indian Air Force IAF contingent will take part in the Biennial Dubai Air Show beginning today at the Al Maktoum International Airport. It will continue up to 18th of this month. The IAF has been invited by the government of UAE to participate with the Sarang and Surya Kiran aerobatics team. These teams will be performing along with some of the best aerobatics and display teams in the world, including the Saudi Hawks, Russian Knights, and the UAE's Al Fursan. In addition, the IAF's light combat aircraft Tejas will be part of the aerobatics and static displays during the show. The Dubai Air Show will be the first occasion for the Surya Kirans and the Tejas to show off their swashbuckling aerial maneuvers. Besides aerobatics and other air shows, various technical aspects of the aviation industry will also be discussed on the sidelines of the program. More from our correspondent.
Dubai Air Show will be the most important and critical point of convergence in 2021, where the future of global aerospace industry will be showcased and analyzed. The new technology showcase will provide a platform to exhibit the latest tech and will also include key conference programs on topics such as 5G, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and blockchain. Welcoming experts from commercial and business aviation, defense and military, aircraft interiors, the show will serve as an ideal platform for rethinking strategies, navigating uncertainty, and scaling up operations to ensure the smooth re-establishment of the industry in general. According to latest IATA reports, the second half of 2021 is expected to see improvements after a difficult 2021 first half. Navneet Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
Climate talks in Scotland has concluded with a global agreement aimed at keeping alive hopes of capping global warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius and so maintain a realistic shot at saving the world from catastrophic climate change. Nations have accepted a compromise deal aimed at keeping a key global warming target alive, but it contained a last-minute change that watered down crucial language about coal.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewelry. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago. And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
Jawaharlal Nehru, first Prime Minister of independent India, was born on November the 14th, 1889 at Allahabad. After getting educated at home until the age of 16, Nehru went to Harrow, a leading English school, where he stayed for 2 years. From Harrow, he went to Trinity College, Cambridge.
On leaving Cambridge, he qualified as a barrister after 2 years at the Inner Temple, London. On his return to India, Nehru at first tried to settle down as a lawyer, but he was an unsuccessful attorney.
Until he met Mahatma, he was not interested in anything. Jawaharlal was attracted by Gandhi's insistence to fight against the British rule of India without fear or hate. Nehru's role in Indian politics was secondary until he was elected president of the Congress Party in 1929, when he presided over the historic session at Lahore that proclaimed complete independence as India's political goal.
Nehru was one of the principal leaders of India's independence movement in the 1930s and 40s. From the year 1921 to 1945, he served 8 periods of detention. totaling 9 years in jail. Post-independence, Jawaharlal was elected to assume office as independent India's first Prime Minister.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
As the Prime Minister of the new Republic, Nehru contributed immensely towards building a democratic polity, planned economy and industrial development. He also focused on high education institutions and far-sighted policies in developing space technology and atomic energy.
He served as the Prime Minister for 18 years, first as the interim Prime Minister and from 1950 as the Prime Minister of the Republic of India. Nehru also became noted for his neutralist, non-aligned policies in foreign affairs. Jawaharlal Nehru passed away on 27th of May 1964.
A widely admired author, his books written in prison such as Letters from a Father to His Daughter, an autobiography and The Discovery of India, 1946, are still read around the world.
Marathwada public leader Anantrao Bhalerao was born on 14th of November 1918 in Aurangabad, Maharashtra. Fondly known as Anna, he was a journalist who lived a valued life. He jumped into the Hyderabad liberation struggle movement at a young age, for which he was imprisoned.
In 1944, he started an agitation against the Nizam government's compulsion to recover levies. Anant Rao, along with Vaghmare, edited the newspaper Marathwada. Anant Rao took the role of protecting the rights of the people by presenting the complaints of the people in the Marathwada newspaper and exposing the injustice done to them.
The paper was banned in the state of Hyderabad. On 15th of August 1947, a call was made to carry out satyagraha by hosting tricolour flags in homes and public places. This led to a scuffle with the Nizam's armed police.
Anant Rao had led all these battles. With the ending of Nizam's rule in 1948, Marathwada was relaunched. Anna also had to go to the Nasik jail once again during the emergency in 1975. Anant Rao died on the 26th of October 1995. He is remembered as a great public leader and nationalist journalist even today.
14th of November is also the birth anniversary of Tilu Modi. Modi was an architect and politician and one of the founding members of the Swatantra Party. He was educated at the Doon School, Dehradun, and the University of California, Berkeley, from where he graduated with a master's degree in architecture.
In political life, Modi was an advocate of liberalism and freedom. In 1967, he was elected to the 4th Lok Sabha, representing the Godhra constituency in Gujarat. In 1971, he was re-elected and served in the 5th Lok Sabha until March 1977. In 1975, at the time of the emergency in India, Modi was imprisoned. On the 10th of April 1978, Modi was elected to the Rajya Sabha and served there until his death in 1983.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar AIR News ke Sang. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Australia will take on New Zealand in the final of ICC Men's T20 World Cup in Dubai today. The match will begin at 7:30 p.m. Interestingly, neither of the two teams stepped into the tournament as favourites. However, they played some quality cricket and made a place in the finals. All India Radio will broadcast ball-by-ball commentary of the T20 World Cup final.
In Kerala, heavy rain continues in southern and central parts of the state. Orange alert is issued in 7 districts. More from our Thiruvananthapuram correspondent.
Thiruvananthapuram, Kollam, Pathanamthitta, Alappuzha, Kottayam, Idukki and Kasaragod districts are under orange alert. Yellow alert is issued in rest of the 7 districts. The Disaster Response Authority had taken necessary precautions across the state. Hilly regions are witnessing heavy rainfall and people are being shifted to relief camps from disaster-prone areas. Met Department forecasts heavy rain still sustained. Fishermen are warned from venturing into the sea in Kerala Lakshadweep coast. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
Now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi is witnessing moderate fog. The minimum temperature was 10 degrees Celsius while the maximum is likely to be 26 degrees. Mumbai will have a partly cloudy sky and the maximum temperature will be around 35 degrees Celsius. The minimum temperature was 23 degrees. Chennai is expected to have thunderstorms with rain and the temperature will vary between 25 and 29 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. The city recorded a minimum temperature of 23 degrees while the maximum will be nearly 28 degrees. Srinagar will have a mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature will hover between 1 and 16 degrees Celsius. Leh is likely to witness mainly clear sky. The minimum and maximum temperature will hover between -7 and 8 degrees Celsius. Hyderabad is likely to have a cloudy sky with light rain and temperature will hover between 21 and 29 degrees Celsius. Visakhapatnam will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The city recorded a minimum temperature of 25 while a maximum will be around 29 degrees Celsius. Guwahati is likely to have a clear sky in the day. The minimum temperature was 16 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 30 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Most newspapers have noticed the gunning down of 26 Maoists in Maharashtra, the militant attack on an army convoy in Manipur, and Supreme Court's comments on the air quality in Delhi prominently on its front pages. Policemen gunned down 26 Maoists in Maharashtra, writes Hindustan Times. Terror claims 7 lives in Manipur, reports a Pioneer. The Tribune says SC suggests 2-day lockdown as Delhi chokes, says farmer bashing won't do. The Asian Age report that the SC has asked the centre to take emergency steps to curb Delhi pollution. PM reviews cryptocurrency issues with key stakeholders is the Economic Times headline today. The paper adds that talks were held on stopping misleading ads to woo young investors with exaggerated returns. And finally, the Hindu report that a senior citizen in Odisha has bequeathed her entire property worth ₹1 crore to a rickshaw puller who served her family for 2 decades.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to transfer first installment of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin to more than 1.47 lakh beneficiaries of Tripura today. Prime Minister holds high-level meeting over cryptocurrency and related issues. Union Home Minister Amit Shah to chair Southern Zonal Council meeting at Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh today. 2 terror groups, Manipur Naga People's Front and Revolutionary People's Front, claim responsibility for attack on Assam Rifles convoy in Manipur. India's COVID vaccination coverage crosses 112 crore mark. Centre to launch week-long awareness campaign on Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge today. All schools closed in Delhi for a week and construction activities banned for 3 days to check air pollution. India International Trade Fair to begin today at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Indian Air Force to participate in Biennial Dubai Air Show beginning today. And Australia to take on New Zealand in the final of the T20 World Cup in Dubai this evening. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and the News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.